Hey everyone, it's Nick here from FreeSpace of VR Arcade, bringing you the first video in our Springboard VR Operators video guides. Today we're going to be going over how to add content from the marketplace. There's 4 basic ways of doing this. We're going to cover them all. It's going to be a little bit longer than usual because there's a few things to cover in them, but I'll try and keep it as short as possible for you. The first type of install we're going to have a look at are our one-click install features. So these are our CDS titles. We're here at the marketplace. If we just want to find CDS ones, we can go click on here, and this will show up all the titles that have the one-click install. Now I'm going to be using one called ABC Paint as an example. It's a smallish one, so it'll be good for this demonstration. Selecting that in there, going down, all your details. You can go to Activate License down in here, read through the EULA, and then go to accept. Now what this will then do is it's activated the license, which means that if you now launch it through the launcher, it will be tracking time and you will be charged appropriately there. I'm going to go into the actual title here, so finding in there, going to edit, I'm going to scroll down. I'm currently on the station management tab, which is the default one you'll open up into, and we have all the toggles down the bottom here. So you can toggle this on for all of your stations if you want, or just per experience if you prefer. What I'm actually going to be doing today is just going to put it onto Station 6 as that one's currently switched on and going. Will install after saving once you toggled it. So I go to save here, and then it's going to take us back to the library. Now if I go back inside of here, what we're going to see initially is install pending. Now what it means here is that it's waiting for the station to become idle. We define idle as basically being the point the trailers would usually start playing for you. There is another way to force this situation. If you want to install it, you can go to the station, look at Station 6 here, see the trailers are currently running. I'm going to close SteamVR. Without SteamVR being open and with our background service being open, which you can see here, we consider this an idle state and therefore able to be installed. So what we should see very shortly here is this one changing from install pending to starting to install. So this took about 30 seconds for it to actually start up here. As you can see, you now see installing at 19%, and this will keep updating. Once it is fully installed, what you're going to see down the bottom here is instead of installing, you're just going to see a red button that says uninstall. You can press that button if you wanted to uninstall it from the station. And that's basically how a one-click install works. Another point that people often wonder is if they want to see if something's stuck in install pending, there might be a few other things queued in front of it. So a quick way to see what's queued on a station and currently installing is you can go to your location, go to stations, and scroll down through here. So I was currently installing this one on 6, so I'm going to go to edit, have a look at content here, and you'll see all the content on here. So as you can see, ABC Paint is currently installing. Nothing else is installing at the moment, so that's the only one on there. The ones that are installed have uninstalled here. Just a quick way if you're looking to see if there's multiple titles all queued up for an install. So the second type of install we're going to look at is using Steam keys. Now we're trying to move, as I said, as many titles over the one-click install feature, but there are still plenty that use the Steam keys. I'm going to use Elven Assassin as an example here. So Elven Assassin, clicking on that one, see all the information in here. The only real way you can tell it's a Steam key one at this point is that it doesn't say View EULA. When you activate the license, unlike the one-click install, it's not going to bring up a EULA for you to accept. After that, though, it adds it pretty much the same. It's in your library. Go to Edit onto here. This is where things become a little bit different. Under Station Management, as we go down, you'll see under each station it has Request Steam Key. So this is where we get our Steam keys from. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can either go key for your entire location, so that it will get one for each and every one. Request Steam keys for the entire experience, so maybe just one type of experience you want it for, or you're going to request it for particular stations. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to get one for Station 6, which is the one I'm testing on at the moment. Clicking on that should allocate a key really quickly into here. Bam, there we go. Sometimes it'll say pending request on there. What this means is that our allocation of keys has been exhausted. There are no more available. We send an automated email to the content creator asking them to please upload more Steam keys. We can't provide a timeline for that one from Springboard, unfortunately. This is up to the content creators. And it's another reason why we're moving as many over to the one-click install, so we no longer have to worry about this. But there are keys available for this one. Fantastic. Content creators doing a great job in keeping up with it. We're going to copy this one. Go back to our station here. Steam is open. I'm going to go down to add a game down the bottom left hand corner, activate a product on Steam, go next. Sometimes the Steam subscriber agreement will cover all of these buttons. It's a really weird Steam bug. I don't know what exactly triggers it, but it happens. If it happens, press the enter button, it'll disappear, and you can hit I agree. Put in your Steam key. I cheat a little bit. This is one I've actually already owned before, so I didn't really need the key into there. I'm just showing you how to use it. Ordinarily, it would say that it's been successfully activated. I go to finish and install and go to next. Now it's saying discovering existing files. Once again, I've cheated a little bit here. I've already copied a folder into there with all the stuff, just so we don't have to waste any time in this video waiting for it to install. I can show you exactly what happens. It's all done. Go to our library. As usual, I would go to Elven Assassin and click play for the first time, just to make sure it's all working as expected and there's no EULAs or anything like that that need to be done. Before you do this though, you'll want to close down Springboard VR so that we don't try and overlay over the top of it. This is just for your very first time that you run it there, just to see if anything comes up. So I'll go preparing Elven. This one should be all good. It'll launch straight into it, no problems. Other ones might have a EULA that you'll need to accept first. So yes, that's working. I would now be able to go back to here and I would be able to activate it and save. From this point, it is all ready to go and available inside your launcher. The next type of install we're going to be looking at, our third one, is a slight variation on the Steam keys. Now, some of the content creators don't provide us with Steam keys to be able to give to you. They require you to actually go and get a copy through Steam first. Sometimes this is a free game, so I'm going to be having a look at Google Earth, as this is a good example of a free one. So we're just going to type this up into here. Apologies, my internet connection is going a little bit slow at the moment. Here we have Google Earth VR. So in case of this one, I would go activate license. It would go through to my library. When I go to enable it on the stations, when I scroll down, I'm going to be in the station management tab, which is the default one we come up into. And we're going to see on the side here a new screen here that says buy on Steam. So what this would mean is that in the case of Google Earth, I would need to go to my station, I would need to go to the store, and I would need to go find Google Earth and install it through here. This one's pretty easy to find. Google Earth. In this case, it's a free one, so it just means we just don't get keys for it because they don't have keys because it's free. We go play game, add it into the queue here, and it would prepare and install it for us. Once that is installed through there, then you would be able to go back, toggle it on like I said before. Always run it through SteamVR first and then go toggle it on to make sure in case there's any EULAs you need to accept. Now, the variation we're going to have a look at on that third install method, this is one where you actually have to buy a copy. These are very, very uncommon types of installs. I'm going to look at Onward, which is a really good example here. So I've actually got this in my library already, so I'm going to go to Marketplace, and I'm going to go view it in my library instead. So pretend I'd activated the license, added it into my library, and I've gone and had a look inside. Station Management. Once again, it says Buy on Steam. What you would find this time is that you would go to here, you would go and look for that title, and you would actually have to purchase a copy first. And yes, this would have to be for each of your station's Steam accounts, so you'd have to buy it for each one to be able to run it on each one. Once again, this is very, very uncommon. Once you've purchased it, add it to your library, and it's activated, you'll then also be paying the per minute cost on top of it too. So the final method of adding content we're going to have a look at is how to add content manually. So this is used for items that you already have licensing for, usually if you've made a deal separately with the content creators, or perhaps you'll gain licensing through the Steam Site Licensing Program. I'll do another video on the Steam Site Licensing Program another time. Assuming you've already got that, I'm going to be using a game called Thunder God as my example. You'd come to the My Library section of your operator panel. There's a button up here that says Add Content Manually. So click on this one, and it's going to take you into here. I'm going to be adding Thunder God. I can just type that one into here. We have a lot of presets in here for a lot of different games off Steam. If it wasn't in here for whatever reason, maybe it's something you've created as a custom or something that just doesn't happen to be in there, you can create custom content entry here. But we've got Thunder God. We're going to click on that, go to Add. It's going to ask you how you've got the licensing for this. So in my case, I've got Steam Site Licensing. As I said, the other options are directly from content, other licensing platform, or not applicable / I don't have one. That might be if you just don't need licensing for the particular use that you've got for it. In this case, I'm going Steam Site Licensing Program, going Add Content. Now it's going to take you through here so you can check all of these settings first before you go any further. I will go and add a content trailer later on. Some of these don't always have them. Age ratings, difficulties, everything like that I'll be doing later too. Tags, so I like to put this one under action. This is actually a staff favorite here as well, so I'm going to add that. And details down the bottom here, which should be correct. Go to Create Entry. This will add it into your library now. And what you're going to see is slightly different to everything else, is when we look at the title, it's going to have next to it manually added content. Because this is not something that we are going to track or charge you for, as it's not part of our marketplace. When you go into edit though, everything else is still the same in here. There's no need to request keys or anything like that because you've already got it. So in this case, I'm going to turn it on for all of my stations because I want it available for all of them. And go to save. I would do the same thing normally. Before I do that any other time, I would check the content first. So I'd go to library, make sure that it's actually installed on here. So Thunder God, I can see, yes, I've got it installed. It's currently saying purchase because there's a bit of a problem with the site licensing program. Once again, I'll cover this stuff in a separate video, but it is available there and ready to run. That brings us to the end of my first video in the SpringboardVR Operators Guide Series. Hope this has helped out a few of you, shown you how to add content. We are going to be producing more of these based on some of the more common questions that we get through Springboard. If you have any questions in particular about it, please leave a comment, or you can get in contact with us through support@springboardvr.com. That's really the best way if you're looking for any technical support or help. I am one of the tech agents on there, so I'll be answering some of those directly as well. If you did like this, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll be producing more of these for you in the future. Thanks very much, and take care.